Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. I have a fun one for you today. We're going to learn how to play the great John Frusciante's parts to By the Way by the Chili Peppers. So we are in standard tuning here, nothing there, but we've got a big rhythmic challenge today. Lots of funky strumming, muting. So it's going to be a big workout for that kind of thing. And controlling the muting and getting the proper notes to come out. So we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Before we jump into it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell so you'll know when I release a new video. And please check out my guitar courses and my Guitar Academy, which is at GuitarLessons365.com. It's got all of my courses. You'll see the link below. All my courses and tons of different topics from technique to improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it. It's there. So please go check it out. Even if you're a total beginner, I have a whole beginner section for you there as well. All right, so hope to see you there. So let's jump into this. Like I said, we're in standard tuning here. And now at the beginning of the track, we have this little clean section that happens. It's really a harmonized part between Flea playing notes on the bass and then Frusciante on the guitar. So there is an isolated, I recommend you search it out on YouTube. That's the isolated guitar track that Frusciante plays. It sounds completely different because a lot of those notes that you're hearing in the intro are actually on the bass and they're not on the guitar. So what Frusciante is actually playing in the intro is just this. All right, so a lot of it's single note stuff. I know it doesn't sound very similar to the actual recording. It's because you're going to need a bass player to play the other notes. So let me just show you what Frusciante's doing. So we're starting here at the 10th fret there on the D string. Just kind of hold that. Over to the 7th fret on the A. 7th fret on the A string. All right, now the melody notes start moving a little bit quicker. We have scoot up to the 8th fret there on the A string. Then over to the 8th fret on the low E. And then back to the 7th fret there on the A. So far we have this. All right, from there we're going to do this. So that is just going to be 9 on the G, 7, back to that 10 on the D string. All right, so now we're gonna start with this 10 on the D again. Go over to the 10 on the A string, and then you're gonna move it down to the 7th fret. And here's where we start playing 2 notes instead of 1. So that's the 7th fret on the A and the D. Then move that down, those 2 notes down to 5th fret, and then 7. So far we have this. Here we're going to end it with 2 more double stops. That's the 5th fret on the G and the B together. And then he moves up here to the 9th fret on the G and 10th fret on the B. All right, so that's going to be the same as you hear a little bit later in the track as well too. So let's start here now with these strums. So we have changed the tone a little bit, and then we just kind of come in with this. All right, so first of all, you need to mute the strings, right? So we got the strings completely muted by the fret hand fingers. They're just kind of lightly laying them all across. And then when you're doing this kind of stuff, it's going to be a wide motion, which makes it a little bit easier. That's why you'll see Frusciante, he's got a really big arc to his strumming. And so you're using a lot of the elbow in there. You just got to brush the top of those strings there, because if you don't, you're going to dig in and you won't be able to be very clumsy sounding, and your pick will go flying out of your hand. So you want to just kind of brush the top of the strings, and that's how you get through them. So it's kind of doing a straight kind of a 16th note feel to it first. And then we get, it starts going into the verse, and what you're going to hear is you hear this note. Now how he does that, he's still strumming all the strings. You can play that note with your pinky. So that's his 13th fret there on the B string, and then use the other fingers behind it to mute all the strings around it. All right, so it's kind of... All right, now we actually get to that kind of leads us into the verse, which is very similar. It looks like this. All right, so that is just a D minor chord here. So really, for most of this during the verse, I mean, later you'll hear the note on the high E string, but it's mostly the 12th fret there on the D, and then you get a bar, the 10th fret on the G and the B. Hit those three, and then lay down the mute again. The rhythm is a little bit different when he starts playing the chords. So it's got a down, up, and then there's a slight little pause in the strumming. So say da 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 da. So basically, we miss the strings on one of those downstrokes. Down, up, miss, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So after you've done that 4 times with it, and then you start, when it's kind of turning around to repeat, we're doing that little 13th fret there on the B string, kind of. And then it takes back to the beginning again. Now the second time around, on that 4th time of playing the riff, we just hold that full chord. You can bar now across to the high E string as well, the full D minor, and just kind of let it strum it out, not muted, and that takes us to the chorus, which looks like this. All right, so this is played differently. The chorus chords are played differently at the very end of the song. It's a lot more mellow way of playing them. I'll show you that when I get there. But here, when he's playing it during the main chorus during the song, he's playing a lot of open position chords. So he's playing starts with an F major chord. Now you can play this as just like a normal bar chord if you want. How Frusciante plays it is he plays the low note with his thumb on the low E string, so the 1st fret there, and then you can play the 3rd fret on the A and the D, 2nd fret there on the G, and then bar across the 1st fret on the high E and the B. Or a lot of guys like to kind of use this finger to pull both those notes now, or just mute the A string. So you can play it like that too. Anyway, we're just playing like an F. Then it goes to a C chord, to a D minor, back to the F, to C, to an A minor. And at the end of it, so the first time you hear the chorus, they just play it through it one time. It's going to end with that B flat major chord. So that's first fret on the A string, and then the third fret there on the D, G, and the B. So basically it's F, C, D minor, then F, C, A minor, and then just end it with a quick little B flat there, B flat major chord. All right, now there's a little effect that's actually played on the guitar, but live, and the Nikitas just kind of sings a little wow, wow, wow. And Frusciante's just doing his little strumming stuff again. But if you want to actually do that on guitar, it's just a... It's got some crazy effect on it too, which I don't know what it is, but it's a... You pick the third fret there on the A string and bend it up a whole step. To repeat it. All right, so after that little bendy thing, we go back and through the same little... All right, and then into the verse, so out of that verse though, we get to that single note riff again, which is the same that we did earlier at the beginning of the song. So nothing different there. And then we get to the bridge section, which is a little bit different, but it's pretty similar to the verse. So it looks like this. So that starts with that D minor triad that we did up. You can do the whole full bar across the 10th fret on the B, G, B, and the high E if you want. So at first you just hit the two hits, and we'll get the little bass solo going. So there's no muted strums, and then it's back to pretty much just the verse. Builds up to the chorus. On the last chorus, same that we did before, but instead of me playing just twice, one time it plays through two times full. And then it actually starts over for a third time, but it's not played with the open D minor. So it's instead, you're going to want to flip over to the neck pickup on your guitar, and that last chorus that you're going to hear is just kind of like this. All right, so I should probably use a little less distortion than I did right there too. But so it's the same chords, just an F to C, but instead of going to the D minor here, you're gonna go up to the D minor here. Just gives a little bit more mellow sound. So, and you're just gonna play the 5th fret there on the A, 7th on the D, 7th on the G, and 6th on the B. A little lighter dynamic, but it's kind of the same strum. Then back to the F, C, and the A minor, and that B flat again. Hit that a few times, and then in this track, back up here with this D minor that we did just a minute ago. All right, so that is it for By the Way by the Chili Peppers. It's a great workout for that strumming arm, I guess. So you'll have these big biceps by the end of the day. All right, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.